Hey everyone, welcome back to PrettyWell. Dr. Angela here with you. So little note, just excuse all of the interesting little shadows in the background. It's the time of day, and so we've got all these interesting patterns coming through the windows, so sorry about that. This video is going to focus on fatty liver, technically called non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, but mostly we say fatty liver for short. The reason I chose to focus on this topic is that it's a super common health condition in Western society that I feel like does not get the attention that it deserves. Most people do not realize they have fatty liver disease, which is probably why it doesn't get the attention that it deserves. Often the way we figure out we have it is we go to the doctor for something else and it ends up getting discovered on blood test or ultrasound that was for something else, or if we had an abnormal blood test and further workup happening. So backing up a second, what is fatty liver? It's a process where fat infiltrates into the liver, and over time the liver is not able to work as well because all this extra fat has deposited into the liver, and the liver will get enlarged. Over time it will transition into an inflammatory process where we'll start to see elevated liver enzymes. And that's one of the things that when you do get those elevated liver enzymes, say you've gone in for your routine annual physical exam, then the doctor sees that your liver enzymes are elevated and an ultrasound is ordered, and then we can actually see the fatty liver changes, the infiltration of fat into the liver on that ultrasound. So we go through a process of increased fat deposition in the liver, inflammatory changes. If the inflammatory changes go on for a prolonged period of time, we will get scarring, referred to as fibrosis and or cirrhosis in severe situations, where then the liver is becoming hardened and scarred up and shrinking and really not able to perform all of the jobs that it normally helps us with. So that's a really serious situation. The good news is fatty liver disease is completely treatable and reversible, which is why I thought this was a great topic for a video. The more we know, the more we can work on improving our health. So it's interesting because we hear fatty liver and the first thing that probably comes to mind is that we should not eat fat because the fat's depositing into our liver. But actually this disease process really happens because of difficulty with carbohydrate metabolism. So problems with our insulin sensitivity. Up to 25% of adults in Western society have fatty liver. Many of us in Western society are a little bit overweight, not exercising enough. It's even more common if we have type 2 diabetes, if we have metabolic syndrome, if we have outright obesity, then the statistics are closer to 50%. So there's three main areas that we can really focus on to help treat and reverse fatty liver. The first one is exercise. So just getting more physically active will really help with insulin receptor sensitivity. Exercising will also help us with weight loss, and weight loss in and of itself helps us with having increased sensitivity to insulin, so helping to reverse this process. Diet is really, really key, and it's really wonderful because it's an area that we have complete control over. So the main take home in how we need to change our diet to treat and reverse fatty liver is that we've really got to get very serious about taking down our sugars, taking down any foods that will become sugar in the body. So this is things like processed grains, which are very prevalent in Western society. So again, back to the bagels, the pasta, the crackers, all those different kinds of breads, really taking out all those processed refined grains. Wheat is the most common, but it could be rice flour. A lot of times people hear gluten-free bread these days and think it's an alternative food that is a health food, and it isn't per se. It's an alternative to wheat if you have celiac or a gluten intolerance, but it's still high in carbohydrates if you're using a grain-based bread versus one of the almond flours or coconut flours for breads. So just really paying attention to refined carbohydrate intake. Really wanting to make sure we're not having any inflammatory foods. So definitely taking out alcohol. Again, alcohol is not the reason why fatty liver happens, but if you have fatty liver, alcohol is not going to be your friend, and neither are any of the industrial oils, trans fats. We really want to stick to more of an anti-inflammatory diet and a low glycemic diet. And then really focusing on foods that love up the liver, foods that are high in antioxidants. So all of your veggies that have all those wonderful pigments, the purple pigments, the red pigments, that's all going to be great. And then the liver really likes bitters. Dandelion, great for the liver. Artichoke, lots of good vegetables for the liver can really help clean it out. So I'll put some of those in the description box for you guys so you have some ideas. Chinese medicine is all about the bitter flavors for the liver. I mean, in this case, even a little bit of coffee, not bad. It's a bitter, it cleans out the liver. High antioxidant. And then moving along to supplements, there are a lot of great supplements that have a lot of research behind them that can really help us treat and reverse fatty liver. So my go-tos in practice, because there are so many, I like to pick things that I know are going to be the heavy hitters. I tend to reach for berberine, I reach for alpha lipoic acid, vitamin E, taurine, and milk thistle. And again, it depends on what's going on for the patient. I try to pick supplements that are going to help with multiple areas of our health that we're working on. So find a good naturopathic doctor that you can work with, find a holistic medical doctor that you can work with, any kind of integrative doctor who will be in the know on how to use high quality supplements to help with your treatment of fatty liver. And I'll put some of the links for some of the studies that are there and some of the additional nutrients that we know have good research behind them. But those are my go-tos. If any of you watching have successfully treated and reversed your fatty liver disease, please share your stories with the community. As always, if you guys have questions on how to treat or, just general comments that you want to add, it's so helpful. We're all just learning with one another. So please keep all those coming. And as always, anything you want to continue to learn about, give us those suggestions as well, because Dr. Petty and I are keeping the list and we try to do our best to cover that content for you guys on a weekly basis. So enjoy watching our community grow together. I learn with you guys. Thank you so much for showing up and being here with us. Looking forward to seeing you back here next week. Thank you so much.